Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Treyarch has just dropped an absolute bombshell on us all, detailing the content coming to Cold War Zombies next week and Season 4, including some bits and pieces about the DLC 2 map itself. Treyarch have not held back with this blog post or this update. There's so much transparency, so many fundamental changes to the gameplay meta, as well as tons of new content coming. It's so important you watch this video all the way to the end so you don't miss out on anything. If you're excited for the future of Treyarch Zombies, like this video, let me know your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe if you're new. But with that out of the way, let's jump straight into it. Now, Treyarch are taking zombies very seriously from this point onwards. It's primed to kick into high gear next week with the launch of the first main quest in Outbreak, which starts at 10 AM Pacific time on Thursday, May 20th. That's 6 PM if you're in the UK, 7 PM if you live in Europe, and 1 PM for those that live on the East Coast. So make sure if you're wanting to hunt this Easter egg, you're on the game at that time, or you're here watching the live stream of that hunt here on the channel. Treyarch say from here, they're looking forward to releasing a record amount of quest-driven zombies content as they gear up for the next chapters of the Dark Aether story. But what exactly does that mean, and what has Treyarch been cooking up since Outbreak's launch? Well, this blog post answers those questions and more. The goal with Cold War Zombies for Treyarch was always delivering the most comprehensive package to date, which includes multiple round-based maps, Dead Ops Arcade, Onslaught, and Outbreak. They've constantly pushed themselves to bring new experiences to fans of each game, and they're so thankful to see the explosion of new players that Outbreak has brought in, but they realize that Outbreak is just one part of the package, and the team's hard at work on creating more new content for all Zombies fans. Now, the big bombshell here is that Outbreak is getting not one, but 2 main Easter egg quests. There's one coming in Season 3 Reloaded, which is next week, but this blog post mentions that there's an upcoming quest in Season 4 as well, with the events unfolding in the Ural Mountains directly setting up the story for the next round-based map. Now, I'm sure that's going to be met with very mixed opinions. It has been over 3 months now since Firebase Z dropped, and nearly 3 months since Outbreak released. Now, I'd love to know your opinion on this in the comments below, but Treyarch definitely understand people's impatience and has given us some brand new details on the next DLC 2 Zombies map, even talking about when it's coming. So we know that it's releasing during Season 4 and will take place after the events of Outbreak's main quests. The team at Treyarch have been developing this map since before the release of Firebase Z, and they want to make it the best experience it can possibly be before it's finally in our hands. Now, I don't think Treyarch have ever been this transparent in saying how long they've been working on a map for. It's good to know that this one has been cooking up for a while, so it should be really good. And they say looking further ahead, development is already underway on more content for future seasons. In addition, we can expect new perks, wonder weapons, support weapons, limited time modes, and Dark Aether story intel along the way. They realize the community is restless in waiting, and they appreciate everyone's patience while they continue development on the next map, and they hope we have a blast with all the new content coming in the meantime. So what exactly is coming to the game next week for Zombies? Well, this is pretty big. New content and features across the entire Zombies experience. So with Outbreak, we have the new main quest, which will be going live. On top of that, there is a new world event, which is an order encounter, which is fantastic. I've thought since day one with how big these maps are, it'd be so exciting to see orders just stomping across them, and that's gonna happen. Now, there's one other thing coming to Outbreak that genuinely puzzles me here. It's labeled as fishing. That's right, we're gonna be able to fish in Outbreak. I'm not trolling here. The blog post says fishing. I genuinely don't know what that is. And of course, there are new intel documents, audio logs, radio transmissions, and artifacts to discover. And we love breaking that all down here on the channel, so expect some videos on all of that stuff. But there's a new LTM coming to Firebase Z and D Machine, which is something I didn't expect. It's Cranked 2, No Time to Crank, which is obviously going to be an updated version of Cranked that we got in Season 1. And admittedly, Cranked wasn't half bad when it came in Season 1. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't necessarily amazing either, but it seems they've taken all the feedback in on what made Cranked disappointing and have hopefully adapted it and made it better. And seeing an LTM come to Firebase Z, that's pretty cool because we've not seen that yet. Dead Ops Arcade 3 is getting a new Silverback Slideways bonus map, and Onslaught is getting the Standoff map, a new limited time mode called Lotta Loadouts, and a new challenge with exclusive weapon blueprints. Now, the fundamental zombie changes start here with new features and gameplay improvements. It's only taken 6 months but Treyarch are finally adding every single DLC gun that's launched from the game to now in the mystery box for you to get. No longer is it a case of you have to start with those new guns in your loadout. We can finally get them from the mystery box, and that includes all the new melee weapons. Now, this next change is going to absolutely change the way that Cold War Zombie plays forever. I'm not joking here. Treyarch are going to be rebalancing zombies' health at high rounds. So we have the zombie health cap at about round 50. Going forward, zombies might have more health at the higher rounds now. And on top of that, they are scaling the self-revive costs to provide a greater challenge and higher stakes for skilled zombies players. So at the moment, we know that you can get a self-revive from the kit for about 250 salvage, but it seems like as the rounds go up, the price of a self-revive is going to increase drastically. Now, a lot of people in the high round community have argued since the release of the game that self-revives make this game far too easy. If you go down, you can just go and buy another one. And now we've got quick revive with tier 5, you can revive yourself by killing a zombie, and we've got tombstone where you can revive yourself. It's never been easier to get back into the game. That is all about to change and could potentially make every current world record run and high round game null and void. Now, it doesn't end there. The other significant gameplay change is that Treyarch are going to be making zombie-specific weapon tuning to increase the overall power of every weapon in the Black Ops Cold War arsenal. They want to give all of their weapons a competitive balance attribute in zombies. So what this means is that most weapons are going to receive a buff of some kind, usually in the form of significantly increased critical damage multipliers. A couple will have their power ceiling adjust slightly to ensure every weapon is viable. Some weapons will receive additional tuning tweaks to their Pack-a-Punch version with respect to magazine size, stock ammo, and damage. This is an absolutely huge change, and they're going to be bringing more details about this with the patch notes next week. So we'll be covering all of that, and of course jumping into game once these changes are made, see what could possibly be the new best weapon in zombies. We've also heard requests for a challenge tracker on the pause screen, and they're working on doing just that in the future, including zombies challenges, daily challenges, and operator missions. They're planning on displaying daily challenges at the start of the match, so you can instantly see what you're working toward. And I think this is fantastic. If you're looking to unlock a new weapon by, doing a certain requirement of kills or something, being able to track that in-game without having to leave is exactly what we need. I'm very happy with this next piece of news because Deadwire Tier 5 is getting a buff. That's right. Treyarch nerfed it into the ground with Season 3, and they're now making it more formidable against large groups of zombies once again, which is fantastic. Some other minor little things is that they're buffing the Pack-a-Punch ZRG 20mm bullet penetration to affect multiple zombies. They're also reducing the health for the demented echoes in Outbreak, so they'll be easier to kill. And they're making new gameplay improvements and bug fixes in Dead Ops Arcade 3. Now, they end it off by saying that they want to acknowledge that they don't always get everything right the first time, or the second time, or the third time when they make changes in zombies. It's a complex part of an already multifaceted game, and bugs that a handful of players experience in the live environment can often be difficult to reproduce in development. They share an example, which is a rare stability issue with Firebase that some console players have experienced but have yet to consistently reproduce, or discrepancies in XP bonuses that some players saw at the start of Season 3 that others haven't encountered. XP levels in zombies has been tricky to tune just right, and sometimes when everything looks solid during development, that data doesn't always translate accurately to the live game, and they're committed to squashing bugs as quickly as possible so all players can have the best experience possible, and that process goes much faster when they have detailed info from players who encounter them. And they mentioned that's where we, the community, come in, and they say to check out their guide on how to submit steps to reproduce bugs on their Trello page and improve the game every day. They can't wait for everyone to jump into the first Outbreak Main Quest on May the 20th. Get ready to squad up and go hunting to see where the Dark Aether story goes from here and in the seasons beyond. Well, I'd love to know your opinions on everything we've spoken about with this update in the comments, but I am very impressed with just the sheer amount of changes Treyarch are making to zombies with this update and the promise that there is going to be a serious amount of content coming from this point onwards. If you're excited, drop a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.